Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Gopjana Vallabha Shivaradhana Gopjana Vallabha Shivaradhana Yasodanandana Bhadratanandana Yasodanandana Bhadratanandana Yamunatira Anachari Yamunatira Anachari Jaya Rama Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Rama Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadhikara Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadhikara Bhakta Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare Hare Nitai Gauri Bani Hari Bani Hari Bani Nitai Gauri Bani Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jayam Vishnupad Paramam Sapavakacharya Satarasatsa Shishimat is Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramam Sapavakacharya Satarasatsa Shishimat is Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Shri Guru Parampara Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Das Thakur Ki Prabhupada Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Shri Sharad Krishna Gop Gopnath Syam Kunda Radha Kunda Kari Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavanam Ki Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Gangamaya Yamunamaya Ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Samavita Bhaktavinda Ki All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Ajnana Tivandasya Chananjala Shlakaya Sakshvamritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Chitayamanopistam Staptam Yena Bhutale Shvamrapakadamyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shiru Shiyuda Padakamalam Shirum Vaishnavamsa Shirupam Jagajatam Saganaragnatam Vitam Tam Sadivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Saitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sakalita Shivishakam Vitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bandho Jatpate Gopesha Gopka Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kansana Gauri Radhe Vrindavaneshwara Vrishabhani Sutadevi Pranamama Haripriye Pankha Kalpta Visha Kripa Sindhu Visha Patnam Pavanabhyo Vaishnabhyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Good morning. Today is appearance day of Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra is the Supreme Personality of Godhead that we will make an attempt to glorify the activities of Lord Ramachandra, who appeared 2 million years ago. That he was the Maryada Purushottam, that he showed us, everyone, how to live an exemplary spiritual life, that by giving an example, by following the scriptures. But Lord Ramachandra is an expansion of Lord Krishna. Before we start, we offer our respect to Srila Prabhupada. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskachari Desatam. Lord Krishna expands into innumerable forms. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said, Ramadi Muhtesu Kalani Amena Tistan Nanavataram Akaro Bhuvanesha Quintum Krishnasram Swambhava Paramam Pumanyo Govinamadi Goshantamam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the Supreme Lord, who manifested personally as Krishna and different avatars like Ram, Nrsimha, Vaman, and they are all his subjective portions. So each particular expansion of Krishna incarnation has a particular purpose, a particular mission, a form in which he exists eternally in the spiritual world. We know Vaikuntha has innumerable planets, and each planet has its residing deity, which is an eternal form of the Lord. So also there is Nrsimhadev, Ram, there's Ayodhya in the spiritual world. But the scriptures describe the Supreme Lord as one who possesses all opulences in completion or perfection. That his opulences are limited, but Prasara Muni had classified them in 6 categories. But yes, the Supreme Lord possesses all opulences in completion. But Srila Prabhupada explains that the living entities, whether they are demigods or humans, they may exhibit only a fragmental portion of Krishna's potency, but we have this potency, this very fragmental potency, but it's also endowed by Krishna, that we have it by his grace. But the Supreme Lord, he manifests these potencies unlimitedly. When he descends in the material world, he manifests these as much as necessary for his pastimes or for the achievement of the purpose for which he had descended. We cannot judge the power of the Lord by the fact that he had just built a bridge across the sea. Now, what is this power compared to the power of God? What Lord Ramachandra displayed was only a tiny portion, insignificant portion of his power. But it is so extraordinary by human standards or in the standards in the material world that it is extensively glorified. So the Lord performs these activities to remind those who are faithless that he apparently appears as a human being, and that is indeed the sweetest of his pastimes. But before time to time he exhibits some ordinary power or some opulence, which reminds everyone that he's not an ordinary or even an extraordinary human being. He's directly the Supreme Lord. We know that Parasara Muni has mentioned 6 opulences, unlimited opulences. They are Vairagya, renunciation, Jnana, knowledge, Aishvarya, wealth, opulence, Virasya, power, bravery, Yasa, fame, and Shreya, beauty. So let's look at these 6 opulences. The first opulence mentioned by Parasara Muni is Aishvarya. What was the wealth of Lord Ramachandra? Let's go back to the beginning of the Ramayana. There in the beginning of the Ramayana we have a description of the peaceful Ayodhya. That's where the citizens were very satisfied with the rule of King Dasarath, that everything went going well, but King Dasarath started to grow old, and he felt very unhappy because he did not have yet a son, although his queens were there, but he didn't get a son. And therefore, a great sage came that I think it was Vishwamitra Muni, and he listened to the king and instructed the king to organize a great sacrifice. And King Dasarath invited all great personalities all over the world, and for receiving them, just for the sacrifice, that a whole city was created, and the city had housing for all kinds of visitors. There were Brahmins, there were priests, there were Vaishyas, Sudras, there were Kshatriyas who came from different parts of the globe. And they were all accommodated very suitably and comfortably. For the function, he set up a city for all the hundreds and thousands of visitors to come. So Lord Ram inherited this all from his father. But this is his opulence as wealth. But let's look at his Lord Ramachandra's offering as Vairagya. We know that at the coronation of Lord Ram the day before, Kaikeya, who was influenced by Mantrara, went to King Dasarath, telling him, "You remember these 2 boons you gave me when I was taking care of your finger after a fight. And Dasarath said, yes, I promised you 2 boons, but you said I will take them later. And Kaikeya said, yes, now is the time. So I want you to, I want that tomorrow my son Bharat is throned as the emperor. Instead of Lord Ram. Please, a little moment that there is something here locally that I have to solve. I'm back in a minute. So yes, that they went, the Kaikeya said, you gave me these 2 boons, I want tomorrow Bharat would be throned as emperor. And secondly, that you ban Lord Ramachandra, Lord Ram, for 14 years to the forest. So that was a shock for King Dasarath. King Dasarath was helpless. He begged the entire night to Kaikeya to change her decision. But finally, next morning, Lord Ram was informed of the decision of Lord Dasarath, that he would have to leave for the forest, and that Bharat would be throned. And Lord Ram accepted that order, that the order of his father was, he would obey to it, whatever happened. So when he left for the forest, he wanted to give away so many things. So then that quality of vairagya came out. When you don't have anything, materially speaking, and you give it up, then this is not considered such a big achievement. But if you have a lot and then give it up, the renunciation is very significant. So his opulence of renunciation is demonstrated by his renunciation of his kingdom. He gave up his kingdom, he gave up his wealth, his comfortable living conditions, his palace, his loving subjects. It is unheard of in this age of Kali to find a leader who is so much loved by his subjects as Lord Ram was. In fact, when he followed the order of his father Dasarath and decided to leave, the citizens said that they all wanted to come with him. And they said, let Kaikeya stay here with Bharat and rule an empty Ayodhya. We will build another Ayodhya elsewhere. We will go with you. Wherever you are, that is Ayodhya. So that kind of affection the citizens had for Lord Ram, and he gave it up. He lived an extraordinary, austere life. We cannot even imagine what living in the forest is like. That we may have a kind of romantic notion about forest living, but what it really means is very difficult to imagine. There are thorns everywhere. You have to walk barefoot. There are innumerable dangers at every step in the forest. That there were different kinds of rakshasas and rakshasis who came, The weather conditions were very hostile. There are snakes, there are dangerous animals that come, no comfortable dwelling place. The elements of nature are very harsh. The rain, the heat, and cold. And for one having lived in a comfortable palace life, now to be living in the forest is very significant. So Lord Ramachandra gave up all of that, and he went into the forest for the sake of upholding Dharma. Then we have Jnanam, knowledge. That Jnanam does not simply refer to mundane secular knowledge. This Jnana refers to dharmic knowledge, spiritual knowledge, as we all know from Bhagavad Gita. Jnana, unless realized, is not considered fully Jnana. Lord Ramachandra's Jnana was fully realized. He practiced and lived according to the principles of Dharma. He's upholding the principles of Dharma and virtue. He demonstrated this level of realized knowledge. He was unmoved by the unlimited treaties to stay in Ayodhya. Many rishis came and tried to pursue him with different arguments, but Lord Ramachandra was not moved. He stuck resolutely to the path of Dharma. Therefore it's called Maryada Purushottam. I must follow the principles of Dharma. Kings come and go. And that is said, all that is said may be true, he said, but I have to follow the path of Dharma. As a leader, it was also his duty to instruct his citizens on the path of Dharma, and also everybody else. Just as we heard from the story of King Rishabhadev, who instructed his 100 sons. The praja are like children, and the kings are the children of the king. That is what the Shastra says. So it is said in the 5th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam that the residents of Jambudvip are praying and glorifying Lord Ramachandra. They say, Martya Avataraha. The Supreme Lord descended in this Madhya Loka, the Earth planet, where everyone is facing death. It is a planet of death, where everyone is facing death. It is a planet of death for the sake of giving shiksha or instruction of knowledge for those who are, so it's Martya Siksha, for the sake of giving shiksha or instruction in knowledge for those who are being in this Mritya Loka, those who are living on the planet of Earth. So Lord Rama is descendant to this world and especially to this earth to teach knowledge. The Lord was not simply, has not come simply to kill the Rakshasas and Ravan. He did not come simply to destroy the miscreants, but he has come to instruct the principles of Dharma. Lord Ram gave many good instructions at many times in the Ramayana. There are numerous pastimes, very nice instructions he has given. So the next opulence we will discuss is Virasya, strength of and bravery. So Virasya is bravery is his next characteristic. Who can be as brave as Lord Ram? When he was only 16 years old, Vishwamitra Muni came to request the Dasarat for Sri Ram and Sri Lakshman to accompany him. Why? Because the Asuras and Rakshasas were causing a lot of disturbance to the Brahmins. That as Vashishta Muni pointed out later to Maharaj Dasarat was in great agony and in great dilemma what to do. He was torn between his intense affection for his sons, particularly Ram, and the performance of his dharma, his duty towards the Brahmins, partially mixed with the fear what would happen if he displeased Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra he was factually so powerful that he could protect himself. He could do himself the job. Yes, that he did not, because he was a Brahman, and protecting is the duty of the Kshatriyas. But his Brahma Tejas was sufficiently strong, but it is not the work of a Brahman. Therefore, he is requesting the Ram to come. And he said to Dasarat, Vishwamitra, your son is capable for protecting himself and doing the needful in this mission. This is a divine arrangement for the glorification of Lord Ram. So with a heavy heart, Dasarat relieved Ram and Lakshman, and they went with Vishwamitra Muni, and at every step they encountered terrible demons and rakshasas, and they killed them all. Each story is a pastime in itself. The killing of Subau, Marichi, and many others. Marichi was shot with an arrow, but he wasn't killed. He was dispatched far away into the ocean, about 800 yojanas, and he fell into the ocean. And from then onwards, he never forgot that there is a saying in English, you put the fear of God in someone. Never was that more true than for the case of Maricha. He was terrified when Ravan approached Maricha with his evil plan to abduct Sita Devi, the goddess of fortune. Maricha was horrified. Said, what are you saying? I'm not able to sleep since that night. I have nightmares. You don't know what Lord Ram's prowess is. He went on speaking like that. And Ravan gave him two choices. Either you die at my hand or you die by Ram's hands. Being sobered by the blow of Ram earlier and understanding the virtue of Lord Ram and also understanding the lack of virtue of Ravan, he decided he would prefer to die at the hands of Lord Ram. So Lord Ram, as he went ahead at Dandakaranya, he killed 14,000 demons in just 2 hours all alone, standing there resolute like a rock. He told Lakshman, please take Sita in a secure place, and I will deal with these asuras who have come here. And single-handedly working with his bow faster than the wind, he disseminated the entire crowd of 14,000 Rakshasas in a short span of 2 hours. And Suparnaka, who was the sister of Ravan, when she heard about it, she was nearly, because she was near, because, anyway, Suparnaka, the sister of Ravan, that when she saw what happened in 2 hours, killing 14,000 Rakshasas, she ran back to Ravan. And this is how the entire story began. Ravan started sending others, and eventually Ravan made his plot to kidnap Sita Devi. So at numerous occasions like this, Lord Ramachandra demonstrated his power, his bravery, his spiritual his physical strength. And then there's the quality of yasya, of fame. Lord Ram was famous throughout everywhere. And as his pastimes unfolded, he became more and more famous. Many times people ask, was Krishna's name changed before Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago? Because he did not appear before. He wasn't there at that time. The appearances of the Lord take place according to a certain schedule. So the names of the Lord are all eternal. Therefore, when Lord Rama appeared, he was famous. The Supreme Lord's fame in his different incarnations is eternal. It is not created at a certain point of time or forgotten after some time, after some period of time, as it happened to worldly people who may exhibit some great power or opulence. Many kings have come and gone in this world, and many others so-called great personalities have come and gone. But there was a beginning in time to get fame, and there was also limited time for people when they remembered them. But Lord Ram's fame has been eternal. In fact, when Valmiki Muni was blessed by Brahmaji to compose the Ramayana, he was especially blessed that everything he would say would be true. This benediction I give you, this empowerment I give you, Brahmaji said, and whatever you say about Lord Ram, your Ramayana will remain existing and popular on this earth as long as the sun and the moon exist, as long as the hills and the mountains and the seas exist. In other words, until the end of creation. So Lord Ram's fame is eternally existing in every creation. The fame of Lord Ram, as well as the other avatars, always eternally famous. And then there is the beauty, Shriya. Shriya is beauty. The whole cause of the problem was Suparnaka. She was so attracted to the bodily beauty of Lord Ramachandra that she did not hesitate to approach him. But Lord Ramachandra said in jest, I'm already married. Here's my younger brother. He's not married. You can approach him. But she did. So he was rebuffed by Lakshman, who cut off her nose and ears. Lakshman did this when she came back to capture Sita Devi. In her anger, then she fled to Ravan and got all kinds of Rakshasas to come and try to fight with Lord Ramachandra. So when Lord Ram was passing through the Dandakaranya forest, many Rishis were so attracted by its beauty, even while they were in male bodies. They were transcendently very advanced, so they were on the spiritual platform. And they desired to serve the Lord in Madhurya Ras. Obviously, it was not possible in this world because they had male bodies. So Lord Ramachandra gave them the benediction that when he would appear in Dvapara Yuga, at the end of Dvapara Yuga, he would fulfill their desires. Many of these Dandakaranya sages appeared in Dvapara Yuga as the Munichari Gopis. They were sadhanas siddhas trained under the Nitya Siddha Gopis, who descended with Lord Krishna from Goloka in the spiritual world. And there were also others too. Even the ladies of Mithila, where Lord Ram was taken by Vishwamitra, which eventually culminated in the marriage of Sita Devi. They were also attracted to his beautiful form. And it is described that they also got a chance to become gopis in Vrindavan in Dvapara Yuga. So Lord Ram's beauty is also exceptional, unlike that of any other human being. So we have discussed Varagya, Jnana. We have discussed the Lord's opulences, his wealth, his bravery, his power, his fame, and his beauty, his knowledge, and his renunciation. They are all incomparable, and therefore it's easy to understand that he is the Supreme Lord. And Lord Ram and Lord Krishna, according to Srila Rupa Goswami, are very special because they come to the human society and act in endearing ways, such human-like ways, that increases the sweetness of their pastimes manifold. He always gives shelter to all his devotees and all those who come for him for shelter. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we find a verse of the Valmiki Ramayana quoted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that demonstrates how the Supreme Lord is always merciful and easily gives shelter to those who come forward in that spirit. That he says, I take this vow. And so Lord Ramachandra said, I take this vow. It is my vow that I will give fearlessness to those who take one-time shelter of me by saying, I'm yours, my Lord. The Lord will never turn them away. He will give them, he always will give them shelter. So that this was spoken to Vibhishan, coming to take shelter of Lord Ram. Everyone else was suspicious of Vibhishan. They were thinking perhaps this is a plot by Ravan, because after all, Vibhishan was Ravan's brother. There were much animated discussions among the generals of the army of Lord Ram. But Lord Ram overruled them, which shows the Lord's principles of mercy is supreme. His principle of mercy is supreme. It overrides all his other opulences. And Lord Ram demonstrated this again and again. So we pray today to Lord Ram that he kindly shows his causeless mercy upon us, so that our anarthas, our impurities from our heart, may be removed. We may also lead a life, so that we also can lead the lives of exemplary devotees, and live as human beings, as he has shown by his personal example, and ultimately that we can receive pure love of God and make our life successful. So this is the opulences of Lord Ram that traditionally we sing on this day, Raghupati Raghava Patita Pavanam Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. So Lord Ramachandra appeared on this day, approximately 2 million years ago. So his pastimes, we know, are recorded in the book Ramayana. So it is a beautiful pastime. The Ramayana, there are so many lessons to learn also, that it's recommended on this day, we recite passages of the Ramayana, that many times devotees perform the Ram Lila in the form of drama, that we know Lord Nityananda in his youth, he was also performing the many pastimes of Lord Rama. And Lord Nityananda knew so many details that and the villagers were asking, how do you know all these details? Where did you hear them? Lord Nityananda said, they are my pastimes. Because Lord Nityananda was Lakshman. That Lakshman, Saturna were the sons of Sumitra. That much more to tell about Lord Ram. His pastimes are unlimited. That's thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any comments, questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. No questions from here, Maharaj.
Okay. Thank you then. I wish you a nice day, remembering Lord Ram and his pastimes.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Praying for his mercy.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Sai Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. His Holiness Bhakti Prabha Maharaj ki jai.
Prabhupada ki